Hello, everyone. Can you hear us? Welcome, Marcella. I'm happy to have you. I'm
Happy
sorry
to
for
have
the
you.
delay. It's just technical issues. I don't know why it refused. The link wasn't working.
It's okay. That's fine. Nice to meet you, Victory, again.
Yeah, nice to meet you, Stella. Thank you for coming to this interview, and I hopefully will be able to help as many persons who are
Yeah.
looking forward to coming to the UK this year and in the coming year. Yeah. So if you're online, say hi. You can use the comment section. Say hi. You're welcome to this live show again. The topic for we are talking about the fastest way you can secure UK jobs with visa sponsorship, because we really understand that right now it's getting tougher. It's getting tougher to get jobs with visa sponsorship, and it has made many persons to really utilize other means like buying COS, and at the end they are regretting it. So the aim of this live session is really to discuss about different options and uncover how we can actually secure good jobs that can bring you over to the UK with visa sponsorship. If you're meeting us for the very first time, my name is Victory Nkuka. Yeah, welcome to this channel. We share about relocation. I share about relocation update and updates that can help you settle with ease. And my senior friend is Stella Otaigbe, the
I'm not
Express
seeing your
channel.
friend.
I've pinned the message, and so you can check out that channel and please subscribe to the channel. There's so much update there about how to relocate to Australia, Canada, UK, US, Richard, Finland. They are all there. Yeah. So my senior friend will be doing most of the talking, but I'm still going to chip in my own ideas. So without wasting much of our time, so we just go straight to it. So over to you, Stella.
Ah. Nice to meet you again, Victory. Hi, everyone.
Yeah.
I'm Stella, and I'm going to be discussing. It's a discussion. I'm going
Yeah.
to be discussing and also answering most of Victory's questions
Yeah.
on moving to the UK using visa sponsorship. Just like she said, so I won't repeat it again. It's getting difficult now, and there are many reasons why it's like that. So let me just we'll get there to the reason, and then we'll give some tips on how we can help, or how you the possible tips you can use to improve and also to get these jobs that you need. Also, we'll probably list some websites that you can go out and check and see how you getting the UK job sponsorship. Apart from that too, in this video I also plan to like tell you like how you can just directly go to the company, how you can check this company's name rather than you just taking your time and going
Yeah.
to Google and researching. There's just a way you go straight. I mean, just go direct rather than going through corners. You understand? And just find
Mhm.
how to and, and just find how you can just get the sponsors, and then you apply to their various companies. So it's going to be an interesting one. Make sure you stick to the end because Victory has a lot of stuff for you today.
And Stella has much more to to share with you. Okay, so I'll just ask some questions so that we can be able to cover a lot. I think the first one I have here is when people are moving overseas, and most especially the UK, because we are talking about the UK today. So what type of job do you think you suggest to them? Is it NHS or private employer?
Well, I will always say it depends on the profession of the person. But if the person is more of healthcare related, I will always suggest the NHS. Now, the reason why I'll suggest the NHS is because the NHS is one of the biggest employers in the UK. The NHS has like of so many, I don't even know how many, but employees all over the whole of UK. In every place in the UK, there is an NHS. Like in Liverpool, we have over 10 to 15 NHS on their own, and it's different hospital, different branch. And it's not just only about the tertiary hospital. They have the primary center, they have the community, and so much functions in which they contribute towards the UK economy. And if you go
Yeah.
to other parts of the UK as well, you will see that the NHS has other so many branches, like so many different divisions. So the NHS is one of the biggest and your best bets. And the good thing about the NHS is that whenever you go to their website and you apply, just know you don't need to go and be searching. Does the NHS offer sponsorship? You just know that they are offering sponsorship.
Yeah.
Unlike when you are going to checking, or like when you are checking for what's the name, using private company, you need to go and confirm first if they are really sponsoring you. That rather than just because you don't know, not everybody have the license to sponsor. For you to
Yeah.
sponsor in the UK, there are some criteria you must meet, and not everyone or not every company in the UK can afford to meet that criteria. It's not like the sponsorship to pay for it or to sponsor you to go to CS is that expensive. It's expensive, but it's not overly expensive that they can't do it.
You can do.
It's
Yeah.
just that it's it's just that it's they need to meet up criteria set by the UK government. So the NHS, if you are healthcare, is the best. But if you are not into healthcare services, then you have to try your best bet is to try other UK government websites. There are other UK government websites you can check and you will be able to see if they are accepting you. NHS covers different area, but majorly healthcare you are more dominant to get sponsorship. Tech can get, but healthcare people are more dominant. But there are other UK websites you can check. If you're a teacher, if you're a tech person, there are other UK government websites you can check for you to get sponsorship.
Yeah, thank you so much, Stella. And to add to that, like for instance, for me, I came into the UK with a private employer. But if I want to advise you right now, I will advise you to search more for the NHS. Like she was saying that in Liverpool alone, you have like more than 12 NHS trusts, right? That's what you said. Yeah. Because if when you want flexibility, it's better with the NHS. For instance, if you're moving from one place to another, you can transfer your job, but for some of these private employer, they are just in one location. If you want to move, you just be in one chance like that. So sometimes they may render you redundant if anything happens. Well, NHS, there's job security there. So when you are looking forward to coming overseas using any job sponsorship, you should always consider the NHS, mostly when you are in health sector, admin, even data analysts. I think, yeah, NHS is offering sponsorship to some data analysts because there are many health statistics and everything. And UK as a country is it's very research oriented, so they
Yeah.
need persons that can always do those data analysis and everything. So they are offering sponsorship to those persons. So NHS should be your first option, yeah. I believe that's settled. If you have any questions at all, you can always use the comment section. We are coming to that. And if I'm unable to answer, I have my chief in the house. Don't
Yeah,
worry,
the
Chief
chief
Stella
in
is
the
going to do justice to all your questions. And I know they are amazing personas following online as well. So they will be able to do justice to your questions with much experience and everything. So I would just the second thing I will be asking is, yeah, okay, somebody is asking what are the chances for mechanical engineer? Yeah, don't worry, we'll be coming to that in the comment section. Okay, generally, what are the chances? I will want my chief to speak first. The chances that like qualifications that one can get or certifications that one can get to really position themselves for these NHS jobs and any jobs. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for that. Okay, for you to position yourself, like I always tell people, if you want to come to the UK, before you are talking about documents, you have to specify because I've got many people who will come and ask me, "Oh, Stella, I want to go to the UK. I want to go to the UK." How do you want to go to the UK? Are you going for a job specifically? Are you going to study? Or like, what is your route? That's your
Yeah,
first question.
it's true.
The next question you now need to ask yourself is, what do you have? You cannot go to a country and you're not bring like you don't have what you want to bring. If you're going for a job or you know you want to come to the UK like for a job, you need to ask yourself, what do you have? What
Yeah,
skills do you have? And is that skill needed in their country?
yeah,
So those are basically part of the major requirement. Like you need to go and check the gov.uk website and see if what you have is on their occupation list or if what you have is what they need. And the UK has made it easy for us to know that for us to check that we need to go and check their UK shortage occupation list.
Yeah.
Now, if your job is there or what you trained in the school is there, Google is your friend. All you simply do is to search and say, how can I move to the UK as a mechanical engineer? As how can I move to the UK as a tech person? There are lots of people that have done a lot of videos on YouTube, online websites, giving all these processes. So you also need to know, like, okay, fine. If I know that, then you also know that you need to have your international passports. Those are part of the requirements. I don't know if you are from Nigeria, you have international passport. That's to show your passport, your citizenship, and all that. If you're from other country and you're watching this video, you probably have your own passport. I don't know if it's called international passport, but you need your passport, a means of identification to
Yeah.
show that yes, you are, yes, what you say you are. Now, apart from that, you now need to, if you know that, okay, I want to move to the UK as a nurse, you ask yourself, do my nursing skill in the UK, is it recognized outside of the UK? Now, if
Mhm.
it's recognized outside of the UK, the next thing you need to do is let's check, okay, so if it's a certificate, do I need to do a certification, or do I need to go through a license process, or do I need to go
Yeah.
through a license verification for them to accept my own? Do I need to switch into their language? Do I need to, that's if you're not English speaking, or do I need to certify my document for, or do they just accept the document like that? Now that's for the nurses and the doctors and the medical people. You need to look at that. And so that's another requirement. So for you to say you are a nurse first, you must have graduated, or if you say a doctor or you're into all these professions, you must have graduated. So that means your school certificate will be another requirement. Your license is going to be another requirement for you to prove that that's what you say you are. If you're into data analysis, definitely you must have done it. You cannot say I'm a data analyst without having a certificate, or without having a school or sorry, a document or license to
Yeah.
show that's what you are. So that's part of the requirement. So these requirements are kind of basic, like they're requirements that you need to ask, okay, yes, you have to prove your identity, you have to prove your educational status, you have to prove your qualification. Then also apart from that, you have to prove that okay, you are someone that is of good standard, so not standard but good model. Now so like that police certificate, you just have to keep it to your mind, okay, yes, they'll still want to know my criminal records and all that. Those are
Yeah.
basic certificates,
Definitely.
requirements for you to move to any country. It's not just UK
Yeah.
specific. Those are basic requirements for you to move there. Now, you also know that some people, because of this COVID diseases and all that, they also
Yeah.
need to see that yes, you are of good health status. You're not someone that is very. I mean, they don't discriminate against sickness, but communicable diseases like let's say the COVID. Now, you don't expect you are having COVID at this moment. You now want to enter airplane. You will give this. It's a communicable or it's something that transfers or move from one person to another. So those sort of things are what they need to know. Also, they want to know your health background as well at times. So those are basic. Those are basic necessity. Before I forget, your financial require status or your financial, yeah, that's financial status. So English is not my first language, so yeah, but your financial strength, you need to ask yourself, okay, I want to move, I want to travel abroad. How is my financial strength? Because that's one of the most important requirements. Some countries, in fact, no country wants another person to come to their country and become a liability to them. You as
Definitely.
an
Not even
individual,
UK.
you don't like somebody to be a liability to you. Country wants that. So they will put their requirements on their websites. And you have to go and they'll tell you, okay, like sometimes in Canada now, sorry, I'm going to Canada, they want you to have maybe up to like 10,000 Canadian dollars or so to prove. UK have their own. UK is even cheaper. So like, is it 2,800 UK dollars or so? I can't even remember. But UK is
Yeah.
cheaper.
It's about one
But
127. Yeah, for
one to
dependent.
seven. Thank
One
you
to
so much for
seven. So yeah.
checking that. Yes. So UK have their own that they expect you to have for yourself. Now they're telling you you also need to know, okay, the 1,270, is it for how long I'm going to stay?
No,
Or
that's for
if
your
I'm bringing my
dependent. That's
family
for one
member,
month. That's for one month for your for
yeah.
one
So
month.
if I'm bringing my family member as well too, if I'm
Yeah.
bringing my family member, will I have additional money? Which, if you even ask yourself, if 1,270 they're expecting for you, and you're also bringing your family, you know that it will be
From
more than that. So you
yeah,
need to also budget that. I think those are the basic things. Every other thing is just like additional, maybe specific to your department or your profession. But these things I mentioned are the basic requirements if you
yeah,
want to come over. If you are bringing your family or your daughter or your child or your wife, what is the proof that you are really married? UK are very strict on this now because they found out that
yeah,
there's lots of fraud associated to this. So they are declining a lot of dependent visas because people are not proving it very well. So you need to know all this, like have all the necessary requirements. Your child, you need to have the, you cannot tell me you don't have your child's birth certificate. How? Or your child's name is different from when she was born. How? So those sort of things, yeah. You need to prove all that.
yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. I told you she's my chief. Yeah. So in addition to what she has said, if you come in to the UK, if perhaps you're not a nurse, you're not a doctor, you are not in any of this shortage occupation. Let's say, for instance, you studied international history and diplomacy, and you've checked UK shortage occupation list. There is no it's not in there. What I will always advise you is inside you there is something you can do. Before I started this live show today, one of my friends just sent a message that popped in that I just arrived. He actually studied engineering, but he came to UK now as a data analyst with visa sponsorship. So sometimes it's not really about what you studied, it's what you can do thereafter. For instance, like UK in UK here, so most of them do not even go to university. It's where we are coming from that if you don't go to the university, it's like you're a mediocre. But here, some of them don't even go to
I
the
support
university,
that.
and
Yeah, yeah,
and,
that's true.
and they're your managers.
Yeah,
They are your managers. They are your deputy managers. Yes, they did not go to university. So what have they done? They have volumes of certifications. Many of them, you see, they have You see some of them in care homes. They are managing it. They will tell you, I have experience in this. What keeps them going is volume of experience and volume of certification, and that tells you how much they value it as well. So, for instance, if what you studied in school was mechanical engineering and you are come in UK currently it's not in on their shortage occupation list. But perhaps they just recently added carpentry, plumbers, civil yeah, the construction engineers, and perhaps you have idea in civil or you've done IT, you build your experience, you tell them this is what you can do. You'll be surprised. They will even employ you and come and train you in the role. And they will some of them will even send you further to school. It will be part of your package. So there's something you can really do. That's the reason why you really need to check the UK shortage occupation list and see what's there. There's something that it may not be what you studied, but perhaps you have an idea or you have an experience prior to that. Even though you don't even have experience, within now and the next 6 months, if you want to get to UK, November 2024, you can. Because with 1 year you would have you can upskill into tech. UK are looking for cybersecurity experts, tech
yeah.
experts everywhere. Literally, there are many jobs you can see online, but most of them will tell you for tech people, they will tell you you need to be in UK because they want to take your tax. But don't be scared. Outside the tax, there will still be more than enough for you and your family. Yeah. But so, how, do you think some of this? Some I think I did an interview with one of my friends that told you
Yeah, I think I
he
watched
was
that
in
too.
agric and later upskilling to tech. So regardless of what you study, you can upskill digital marketing, data analyst, tech, and with that you'll be able to come over to the UK. Let's keep this short and simple. I want us to move on to the other one so that we can
Yes,
really
so if you want to know more about this tech, you need to watch Victory's video because she did a video. Is it with a tech
yeah
guy or something?
yeah.
Yes, she did a video on it. So after this live, go and watch it. It's very, very informative. Very
Okay, I will leave the
informative.
link. I will leave the link to that video
Yeah,
on how you can
yeah.
upskill into tech, and
Feelings
the
tech.
the story of the expert will really inspire you. How he was able, regardless of what he studied, he was still able to upskill and do something wonderful for
So
himself.
soon, I
Yeah,
plan on doing a video on how even if you're not into nursing or all this stuff, how you
yeah,
can switch into it and come to the UK. It's not, it's really straightforward. There's information everywhere. It's just like,
Yeah.
it's just for
So
you to search and bring it out. You need to be a good researcher. That's the
exactly,
thing.
exactly.
Yeah.
You need to if you subscribe to our channels, because we share lots of information that will be of help to you, and do yourself the favor of hitting the notification bell so that you'll be one of the first to know when any of these videos are uploaded. Like Stella has mentioned that she'll be uploading a video on how you can, if regardless of what you studied, how you can come into the UK. So you need to go and subscribe to her channel and tap that notification button so that when she uploads that video, you'll be the first to know. 2024 should not pass you by, right? It shouldn't pass you
No.
by. We should see you in UK. Yeah, so
Yes,
let's
sir.
talk about one of the core part of getting a good job in UK with visa sponsorship is CV. I've heard many stories about I applied for this job, then later they told me unfortunately, unfortunately, you were not selected and regrettably feedback will not be provided. I I received such emails to when I was applying. I relocated from Nigeria. I believe Stella received at some point in our lives. Yeah, but we had to really understand that we were receiving many of such unfortunate mails. One of the reasons, there are many reasons, but one of them is because our CV was not properly structured. It wasn't really properly structured to suit what they want. So, and I have my chief here, so I want her to throw some light on how you can really structure your CV perfectly well so that you, when you apply for the job, any job role you want, be it tech, data analyst, you will be like the candidate they are looking for. So Stella, over to you.
Well, to have good CV, it's a
Yeah,
it's very important because CV is what displays who you are. You understand? There are some websites like I got this trick website and all that. They already have like a system where you just, they ask you questions that makes up your CV. But there are some other websites which you use. You have to submit your own CV, and that's why it's very important that you have a very good one. um I know, sorry, Victor, let me impute this because even if I'm going to go further to explain, but some people might not still be able to do this by themselves. So we currently have a company that helps to create CV just in
yeah,
case you are struggling despite what we have said. Okay, so it's very important you have good CV that meets international standards. I've seen see people's CV because I remember in our company we used to have interviews and to recruit people, not to the UK, in Nigeria. And then we observe that some people's CV are not really so good. Your CV does not really show talk about you. In your CV, you are putting things like maybe I'm married, I like to cook, my hobbies, all those things. How does it relate to what
the job
what they
role.
want? Before you create a CV, I don't want to say like a CV you have to change each CV for each job, but you have to know that the CV for a carer cannot be the same CV you want to use for a nurse. And a CV for a nurse is not what you use for a CV for a doctor. They are two different or different environments or different areas or different part of life, different walks of life. So your CV has to be tailored towards your profession. If you are going for data analyst, your CV has to be tailored towards a data analyst or towards a data analyst or data analyst activity. So, but then you also understand that in each profession there are divisions. For example, in as a nurse, we have like emergency nurses, we have what are they calling it? Medical nurses. For
Yeah,
doctors, we have different
surgical.
branches as well. So it doesn't mean that you have to tailor your CV all the time. Your CV is what talks about your own experience. Your cover letter helps to make it much more detailed. Do you understand? So basically, for your CV, you need to ensure that unnecessary details are not there.
Yeah,
Okay, you also need to ensure that your work experience that you put on your CV is well detailed and well put together. Any certification you have gotten, don't take any certification for granted. Don't take any certification for granted, okay? You need to put into detail all the certification you have. Even if you were a leader somewhere, just put to show that you've got leadership skill. If you've done, in fact, glorify what you have done. Like, how will I even put it? If you've done something, even if it's you just held leadership for 2 years or for 1 month or for 3 months, or even if you did all this outreach that we go to do and
Yeah.
we don't put it on our CV, those things are hot cake. Oh, hope you are aware. Ha! Those things
Yeah.
are really hot cake. You put them on your CV. Let it be detailed. Like, I've gone to outreach in this place from this time to this time. This was what you did at that outreach. And from this time to this time, this was what I did in this particular place. Let it be details. But details like where are you from? Maybe me, if you ask me, I'll tell you. If you want to do your CV, just put your name, your phone number, your email address. That's all you need. Your date of birth, your marital status, your what's the other one? Your ethnicity. Remove all that from your CV. You don't need that to be on your CV. It's very important. You don't need that to be on your CV because you don't know who is looking at that CV. Sorry to say, but in this world, some people don't like people, and that's the truth. It's not about, and it's everywhere. It's
Yeah.
everywhere. Wherever
Yeah.
you are. If I see my brothers and sisters, normal, or someone that is from the same place I am, it's normal human for you to want to get attached to that person over
Yeah.
someone that is different. Do you understand? So it's very important that you don't know who is that person that is looking at that CV. That person can be that type of person, and you are putting some details that is on it. For some people don't even like women to be in their job environment, or don't like men, or don't want too much men. So first and foremost, if you go and put in your CV, oh, I'm a female, or no, all those sort of things, at times it might reduce them taking you. Do you understand? If you're
Yeah.
bringing a CV, so let it
Just
be as
unnecessary.
anonymous as possible, but instead glorify your skills on
Yeah.
your CV. By the time you have glorified it, they bring you for interview. Oh, that's it. Oh, who is this person? Shock them.
Somebody just said it's
Shock
not a
them.
biography.
Exactly. Just let them know. It's not. I've had interview whereby we don't want to take some people, but by the time they made their CV anonymous and then we interview them, in fact, by the time we finish, before they even finish, because
Yeah.
when they got, in fact, they sold their self. You fell in love with them. You have no choice than to take them. So you need to make your CV as anonymous on top as possible, so that they can bring you in for the interview. Once they brought you in for the interview, then sell yourself. Very important.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you so much. That's just it. Another thing you can do is when you're applying for yourself, if when you have the time, you can check the job role, check what they require, because some of this they use machines to screen your applications. Yeah,
Yeah,
for
that would be more on the cover letter, especially your
yeah.
cover letter. Yeah.
So you've heard
Oh,
it all.
very good.
So your cover letter, I don't know if you know what a cover letter is. For instance, if you're sending a mail, yeah, you see there's a place for subject. So the subject could be like you want to apply. Then the content of it is there. That's where your cover letter. You can actually put lots of information. You won't want to see my cover letter. When I was applying, I keep upgrading it. I keep
Yeah.
upgrading my cover letter always. So that when you read it, you will feel like, who is this person?
Mhm.
So please, in CV, you need to really sell yourself. Somebody has said it in the comment section as well. There's someone is disturbing us here. I don't know if you are reading the comment section, Stella. He's saying that he wants to come to the UK. Should he not marry a nurse?
Oh my God, though. If you see a nurse that you fall in love with and she falls in love with you, why not you and follow her? I don't know. If you see one that two of you are connected with, but it shouldn't be on the basics of want to travel out. It
Yeah,
should be because it should be on the basis of like you guys are really interested in each other. It's not shouldn't be really on the basis of traveling out because you like Shea said, this you just said it. You can switch. You can learn data analysis. You can try other things,
yeah,
and use your skill. There's even what they call global talent visa.
yeah,
That global talent visa, you don't like it shouldn't be, you don't need to be, there are specific skills that are there. I was watching a video on how a girl, she's into fashion designing. Fashion design is like almost like all these tailors that design nice clothes and all that. I was watching a video how she used the global talent visa to come down to the UK. You also watch a guy that used business to come down using it. I also watched a video, another guy that used into all this photography, videography. He used the global talent visa to come down to the UK. And it's like there are different routes, you understand, ahead. There are different routes. So it's not necessarily that you come, there are different, either you're using skilled worker visa. There's even what they call temporary charity visa.
Yeah.
Do you know that there's something like that? I think I did a video on it once. There's something like that. So you can come to the UK using that particular way as well too. There's someone that is religious. If
Yeah.
your church member can, or your pastor, if they have that like license or something, can bring you. You can also use
And you
so there
don't,
are different routes.
and they don't even need
If
IELTS for that one, no.
you don't
No,
even need
you don't need
IELTS for it,
IELTS for
you
that
understand?
religious visa
So
route.
it's not necessary that you have to go into marriage with somebody. I mean, if you have a nurse, then and she wants to, because she has to want it. Because even I'm not saying all places are not roses. Not everywhere are full of not every bed is roses. I've had they speak that proverb. I know that complicated. So
They say the grass is not always green, no.
the grass is not
You
always
know,
green on the
it's
other
getting
side.
to winter now. I'm seeing all these things getting pale. All the
Hmm.
green.
So it's
Winter is
very
not.
important to
Yeah,
it's not
yeah.
always
I
green. You
just saw
just
it.
need to look for it fast. Yeah. So that's it.
Yeah, thank you. I just saw a question now. Somebody is asking health safety. Is it HSE?
Okay.
If I understand, I think that's health safety and environment, something like that. If
Mm.
they are needed in UK. Actually, your health safety, I know my chief is still going to throw life on it, but what
Oh, you go on, carry on.
the health safety and environmental man is a very wonderful course. Yeah, these are some of those certifications, like we mentioned earlier, that most of these managers and everybody they have experience in health. Health safety is something that it's core in the UK, but getting a direct job as a health safe with that qualification you have may be quite difficult. Yeah, with visa sponsorship. Oh, you can get jobs, but some of those jobs may not come with visa sponsorship because it's not in the shortage occupation list. But if you come perhaps through school and then you are doing your 20 hours jobs, you can it's then you can show forth your skills and then your experience and everything, and you'll be able to secure very good jobs in the UK. Because another route that many persons explore is they come to school. So when you come to school, before you even get to the time to apply to post study visa, some persons are lucky enough that they already have sponsorship. Even though the latest rule is that you can't even switch until you finish that course of study. But immediately you are done with the course of study, you can switch to a sponsorship. So when you switch to a sponsorship, you can become a health safety. For instance, in the company I work, we have a health and safety manager. That's what he does. That's what he does. They are top people. They pay them lots of money just
Yeah,
for
yeah, that's true.
health and safety. So it's a very good course. And that course you have with experience, because what some people do is they study the course in school and later they don't even want to have any experience. Because some countries, I don't want to come, there are some countries, some developing countries, I don't know if they are still developing. I'm not, Stella, I'm not talking about your country, please. Where some of these things, where some of these courses are not valued. So you tend to just finish school. But if you have some experience in it, be it IT or it's just like there's something Stella mentioned, is the way you package it. You may have learned maybe it's a like a team, let's say it's a group. Maybe you were doing your project and you were the leader. It's the way you package it that you've led a
Where you
team.
package it,
Nobody is
package it,
coming to
package
say, tell me give me the team members number, let me contact them. You package it, tell them how you organized, how you coordinated, how you did everything, and that's them giving you thumbs up there. Wow, this person, they are reading the CV and like, this person is who I want. Yeah, something like that. So I will go to the next thing we have to say. But if you have your questions, we can always attend to them because we are still reading through the chat. Um, So another thing is about the supporting information. I just wanted to throw some light on it since we are still talking about CV and everything. Yeah, some persons they don't really know the difference between supporting statements, CV and cover letter. So please, can you just throw light so that yeah, they get the gist?
So for your CV, your CV is just basically there are different sort of CV formats. You understand? It's just like a brief, like will I say, at times it's more of point based. You just point on things you've done. Okay, I did this, I did that. Oh, I mean, you just say, what's your skill? Okay, let me use for nurses now. Maybe catheterization, administration of medication, all this, or maybe if you are into what are they calling it? If you've done managerial position, you put managing the world. What's the name for students, supervising students, because they want you to do all that. But when you're talking about supporting information is more detailed.
Mm-hmm.
Supporting information is like, or cover letter as well. Some people use supporting information. At times it can be a cover letter, depends on the website or where you want to do. Very important that you in fact the word sell yourself is too small to talk about how important it is to sell yourself. And how you do your supporting information, you don't just do it with your head out of the blues. You need to go and you know how you used to study for exam. Go and study the job description, number one, and the
Listen, no.
person specification. The job description and
Number
the
one.
person specification. Like the person specification, you need to look at in the if you're applying for jobs through NHS websites, you see where they'll tell you their desired role. Essential means you must have it, or you shall have something that is related to it. You understand? Then you also have the desired, the essential, and then if you also have additional things, you get. So when you look at those skills and all together, you will now ask yourself, how have I done this in my profession, and how can I put it into writing? You can make use of different automated websites these days. There are so many automated websites. They have ChatGPT. There are so many of them. You can take your job description. Do you understand? Your job description, the job description, the person specification, and your own experience that you've had wherever you maybe are in nurse of 50 years, and then go and combine it, and maybe you ask the AI and you say, how can I tailor this together? Do you understand? If you're able to learn how you can tailor this together, then it will give you a rough, strong, a supporting information. Because these days now, things are life have been made easy. I told
Yeah.
someone told me that they bought jollof rice ingredients the other day. Already cooked food, and it just one bit. I said, life is not supposed to be hard. We are making life hard for ourselves. They've made
Yeah.
life easy. So, so you just take, like when you've gone through. So my point why I brought that joke up is because there are AIs that before there were no AIs, so you have to stress yourself. Okay, how did I meet? They said they want someone that is innovative. How can I make sure I'm innovative? You put first paragraph. Oh, the second place they want someone that has taught student, have been a mentor. How will I put it there that I have been a mentor? But you
Mm.
carrying this information and putting it in, they just create so tailored to you, your own specific person which you are. Now, once they've done that, they can be able to you can be able to put it in your supporting information and create something. Now, another thing I want to mention is people know about this AI, but they don't even know how to use it, even why they've gotten this information.
Mm.
Once you've gotten this information, it's always important that most of this job, just like Victory rightly said, they now use all these AIs and all that to detect and to select for their
Excellent.
selection process.
Yeah.
Because was I talking to that day? Say, well, see my husband that was speaking to me that he was listening to one seminar, and then the NHS person was saying that there was a vacancy in their hospital. She just put it out at 1 o'clock. Before 2 o'clock, thousands of over multiple thousands of applications has come in. We say it's high. It's high. So because over thousands have come in, and most of them are from India, from Africa, from all that. Do you get? So because there are so much, it's very important that you must know how to, even if the competition is tight, the AI should sha select you.
Yeah.
Then it will now move to the second stage of maybe the people now looking for who they want and all that. The AI should first select you. Do you get? So you need to put in the AI. They've automated the AI in the sense that that person specification, that job description is what the AI is just picking from your statements. They're not
Yeah.
picking any other thing. It will just detect those things and pick it up. So it's very important that you put your supporting information or your CV in paragraphs. You put them in paragraph when you are putting you put, and each paragraph should focus on one of each of those person specification and job description. Each paragraph should focus on it. So if paragraph A is talking about it, at least the first few sentences or the first few sentences you are going to put there should focus on the person's on one of the person's specification, because it will just pick it, the program meeting, it says that it will pick like the first two sentences in a paragraph. Then it will move to the next one, the first two or three sentences in a paragraph. So you need to ensure that you your what you are putting there is already carrying it, like the AI is detecting what they need there. Once the AI has detected it, then you ensure that you elaborate on it following it, because they will now go into stage two, whereby they will now look at it and see, okay, does this person fit, or the person just types the word and the AI just picks it. So they'll then look at all that. So that's the way to that's the long and short story of doing your cover letter and supporting information. Your job description, your specification, using artificial intelligence, or if you
Trust
are someone that
value.
is an artificial intelligence on your head, you can use the head if you like. So maybe you are the AI in an individual body, that's fine. So you can
Yeah.
use that. But apart from using that, is the technique in using it that matters. Using it well, paragraph, first few sentences, how you put it in, that's how very, very important to get selected by the AIs. So yeah, that's how to do it.
Yeah. So she have done justice to that. So you need to really watch out for that and the values the organization hold. For instance,
Oh
my
yeah,
organization,
that's one point.
respect, everything, they need to see those, they need to see that you have their values. Yeah. Every trust has their values. You need to check what's the value of that company and chip it in. So that's for that. Let's go straight to how to really apply for this job, the websites and everything. Yeah. And the tip and trick is that Stella is the co-CEO of the Express channel and the Express team. So, and they do lots of job application. They've helped a lot of people to secure UK jobs and they are still helping. So, yeah, you can always apply through them. I think that is the cheapest I've seen. For anybody that help you apply for job, I
You
think
wish
that
you
is
pray
the
that we
cheapest.
will increase that price soon.
No, no, let's help these people first.
But
So
that's
they're
true.
like
That's
it's
the
like
thing.
the
We focus more on helping. It's
cheapest.
not about the money. It's
Yeah.
about helping. It's not like we are saying if you come through us, you are like 100% guaranteed to get a job, but at least you are 50%. Let's use that, because we've kind of studied how the AI is, and then we tend to use what the how the the detecting system. We tend to understand the principle and we improve on that daily to see how we can at least favor you towards being picked for interview. But if you are not picked for interview, at times, let me put a disclaimer, at times it might not be that all this you haven't done it. It could be that there are just too many qualified people out
Yeah.
there. And that's another thing too. Because the competition is, it could be that there are just too many. So that comes to continuous application. Yes, you
Yeah.
might be like, I'm tired. The other day I was in a group and somebody was saying, she has done up to 100 application. She even used some people's service to do up to 100 application and nothing. And the group admin said, are you playing? You did just 100. The group manager says, are you sure you are ready for this business or you are not ready? Like even him that is in the UK, he knows how many he did, even while he was in the UK when he wanted to switch. Let alone you guys outside. I said, are you playing? He said, if you're outside like the UK, make sure you are doing nothing less than 300 applications.
Yeah.
And then some people actually get lucky. That's the truth. Let's not remove the part of, let's call it luck or God. And I won't call it luck. Let's say some people have God favors
Favor.
them. But I don't want to say God favors some people over another. Let me use luck to be safe. Some people have this luck, anything they just do, just clicks for them immediately. So it happens like that. Why some people they have to keep applying and applying and applying. But all we have
Generally.
said, what I and Victory have said now, you understand? If you use that, I bet you at least out of 300, you should at least attend one interview. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, so generally, you need to be persistent and consistent in your applications. I remember when I was applying for jobs to come over to the UK, it was actually still tough. Yeah, so it's not like it started becoming tough today. It's been. I applied for like over 100. I will wake up, I will see some rejection mails. I will change my strategy. I won't lie to you. There were many times when I was really discouraged.
I applied for 20 every day that day. But during my
Exactly.
time.
I remember speaking to Stella's husband, and Stella's husband was like, Victor, trying to apply for at least 20 a day. I was like, and then I was telling him I've applied for 100. No, and I said, if he's telling me to apply for 20 a day, meaning that's just 5 days application.
Hmm.
If I still have that
I'm not
chance.
like I'm not even exaggerating. I applied for 20 every, let's say
Yeah.
I'm so busy, I applied for 13. It cannot go below 13 in a day. Ha, oh my
Yeah.
god. The hustle was real. Anyway, it's fine.
Yes, you just have to. That's one of the ways you can secure. I see many persons, they get one interview, they are just discouraged. Oh, this interview did not come to. No, all these things they are preparing you. So just keep applying. My husband had to really take up the application because at some point I was like, I quit. And if you know me, I'm a very optimistic person.
Yeah.
So it got to that time, but I had to later, after quitting, I returned back to the game, continued applying. They applied, and when the interview started coming, it started coming in their numbers. I remember
And
a
that
friend that
is
had
it.
to wait for nearly 6 months. But when the interview came,
Hmm.
she had to book select which of the jobs she
Mhm.
had this offer, she had this offer. I know of someone else who sent me a message about 2 months ago. Like, I've been applying for jobs, and I was like, I know someone have applied for 500 before they got one. She was like, no, I've applied for 650. I was like, ooh, 650. But the thing is, I think she's coming into the UK this month with her family. So sometimes it pays. They are still bringing people, but you just have to be consistent. And this is the reason, this is the advantage you can use up. While you apply on your own, you can as well pay persons. Like she said, like it's not because she's on this channel. Theirs is like one of the cheapest. The cheapest is not like one of the, it's the cheapest I've seen. Others are good. Some of them are still more, they are quite more expensive than that, but they're actually doing it cheaper to help so that they can help as many persons they can. So while applying for yourself, you can utilize these services, pay them so that they will be doing application. Just imagine you are doing 20, somebody else is doing 20, so you are doing 40 a day. Within 3 months, at least you should get interviews, you should know how these things are. And the hardest part is getting when you get the job, when they are telling you they are doing pre-employment checks. Relax your mind because because it's going to be very rare for them to really disqualify you when you know you are not a criminal. Will your police clearance come out negative? No. Tuberculosis test will still be fine. Your police clearance will not come out negative so long you are not a criminal. Yeah. So we are 48 minutes now. I want us to talk about interview. Another thing that disqualifies people, they get for you to be selected for an interview. That tells you that you are being considered. Most times, for most persons, immediately they get interviewed, they get selected immediately. Now, when you don't pass an interview, it's actually not a very wonderful one. So I want and Stella has been able to prepare many persons for interview to help them get successful interview. So she'll be sharing some tips on how you can pass through your face-to-face interview and get secure that job in the UK with visa sponsorship. Over to you, ma.
Okay, thank you, Victory. So
Yeah.
basically, most of the interview we've done covers more of nurses, but it doesn't mean that we don't do interview for. I mean, we have some recorded section on our YouTube channel of some interview that we did more for nurses, but we've also done for other profession because it's for you to understand what they want. Like interview, let me just tell you, people, interview is they've given you guys expo before an interview. That's the truth. Interview, they've told you what they want in the job description. It's just and the best specification. It's just for you to go and present. It's just interview is like the physical or the practical representative of what you say you are on your cover letter, and that's what made them pick you. Do you understand? So if you're going for an interview, you need to be prepared. You need to understand that most times in the UK, people use, you need to be conversant. Let's start with technological things like how to use different apps like Microsoft Teams, how to use Google
Mm.
Meet, how to use all those sort of things, because those are the type of things, or how to use what they call that one. Is it Sky, or I've forgotten what I used that time? Is it Sky? It has got Sky attached to it. So
Yeah.
you need to know how to use um all those
Good.
apps that they use for these teams and interviews meeting. If you don't know how to navigate through it, it's always important that you learn it and you practice. So remember that time I and my husband we were still dating there, but what I was still in Nigeria then, what we used to do is we used to practice. Like before my interview, he will call me from wherever it is. I'll call my then we'll practice, like, to be sure that the phone, the data, everything is in check, everything is working. We don't want anything. We don't want the same village people.
No, village people cannot come.
No, 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 very important. We don't want that. So we need to, we will always practice ahead of time. Do you get? So it's always good to ensure that your network is working where it is. Because if your network is not good, to be fair, I will tell you the truth, it's a turn off. It's a turn off for the interviewer. The interviewer will just be like, oh God. Because even they have so many people they need to interview. They have time they need to meet. So you need to ensure that your network is good. If in your house you don't have a good network, please go to your friend's house
On that day
or
of
go
interview.
to the church. Most churches they have good network, they have light. Go there, go and see.
Wi-Fi.
That's the day to go and see your pastor. Don't forget that day. Go and see your pastor. Go and see your pastor that day. Go and meet them. So you do that. That's number one. Number two, apart from that, you need to ensure that your the app is working. I've said that you need to ensure that your environment is not the one that I don't even know how my environment is now anyway. But yeah, you need to ensure that it's. I mean, I always recommend for a plain, just like Victory's background. I recommend that a plain background so that they can focus on you. They will not be saying, "Oh, God, see that fine vase. Oh, I think I should use it to paint my house." So they could miss what you are talking about. They could miss the vital information you are passing. Do you get? So
Yeah.
it could be like they are very tired and then they just kind of focus their mind on something. So maybe when you are selling yourself, giving vital points, it could they could miss that vital information you are giving. So make your background plain but also neat and bright. Like I like this victory background, very neat and bright. It's perfect for an interview. You get. So that's another thing. Then apart from that, you need to know you need to go and do some YouTube research, Google research on possible questions they ask people within your particular field and within your level, the level of job you are applying for. In nursing job, we have what they call band 5, band 6, band 7, band 8. The question they will ask to a band 5 is going to be different from a band
It's
6
never.
to a
It
band
can.
7. So you cannot just go online and say possible interview for a nurse. What type of nurse? Do you understand? So you need to know like what type. And then because even when they ask you a general question, they will come to us because they build interview questions are built like from general to specific. It's not so they start from build, they'll tell like tell me about yourself. From tell me about yourself, they move down. They'll move slowly down, slowly down, slowly down, slowly down, slowly down, slowly down. And that's how they do interviews. They don't just ask, so they move from and to get a point, they'll ask you specific questions. So you need to where I'm going general and I've got people watching this video could be nurses, doctors, whatever
Yeah.
profession you are. So I'm not going to be too specific. But we've done views interview for nurses, so you can go and watch that on our channel if you want to, and you see how it's done. So you can be able to understand that it goes from general to specific. So you need to know the departments you are planning on working in. What do they do? You understand? And then you browse and have an idea. Another thing is you need to know the company that you are applying to. You understand? Maybe the company, let's say for NHS. Now the NHS have like you need to know the let me just start from in two different ways. You need to know the company in two different ways. One, their values. Why you need to understand the company's values because you can somehow put it into most of the answer and relate it
What
to
you're saying.
you understand? Relate it to yourself. You must not be saying there's one popular one people always use. And so because of it, because I can relate with your values, because I can relate, I mean, it's good, you understand. But if I know your value is respect, kindness, and courage, somehow I will put the respect there, like, also because of it, I always ensure that I always seek my patient's consent. I always try to respect their opinion. I always try to value their opinion. Talking about respect, but I'm also indirectly telling them I'm in line with what they do in their company. Do
Yeah.
you get? So if you're thinking about how to be caring, how to be innovative, you can see there was once a time I helped to do, like, we observed that our world was failing, and I brought some ideas that helped to do this. Even if the idea work or it not work, but they will see that you are innovative. It's in line. So it was not necessarily be that at times you can still say, okay, my because my personal value is in line with your own value, fine. But how?
How?
How? It's not by talk. It's not
Yeah.
by saying it, it's by talking how you have done that. So we appreciate it more when you demonstrate how you have done it more. So basically, interviews is different. I'll divide it into maybe four sections. One, we talk about you as a person. So learn about you as a person. When they say tell me about yourself, is that time you will say yourself, oh, There was one time I had a friend come to live in my house. I would listen to her do an interview, and this lady she was the best in her best graduating student. She was even what are they calling it, the class rep, held leadership position. She didn't mention any of it when I was preparing her before the interview. I say, are you kidding me? I mean, you need to sell some things you have done. You cannot keep it in the. So why were you stressing yourself in school to get all that? Is it to keep it under the carpet? The Bible
Yes.
said you cannot hide a burning lantern under the bed. So why are you hiding your burning lantern? You have to bring it out for the world to see. So you need to showcase things you have done. If you've gone to outreaches, why are you hiding you have gone to outreaches? Tell them. I've helped people in the past. I even go on and beyond. In fact, at times it must not be that you relate what you have done towards your environment. You can relate what you have done at times. Maybe they ask you, tell me in one way you have been caring. Maybe you can give an example of also how I've always been caring all my life. And because of that, I've gone far and beyond. In fact, we can talk about how you've gone for outreaches to help people, help patients, as if you're a nurse anyway, and how
Yeah.
you've done, how you cook
Even
for
healthcare
people.
assistants as well.
Yeah, even
Healthcare
healthcare
assistants.
assistants too.
Reselling
Even if
policies.
you're a data analyst sef, you talk about how maybe even if it's a little thing you've done, a little data analytic activity you've done, even if it's for your church, you've done it before, you give an example of that. So that's how to prepare for. And then, okay, I said I was going to divide it into yes. So that's person. Then next you talk about the company. Try to really understand the company and relate what you have done towards the company. Then you also need to talk about focus on like two or three skills. Maybe the three skills that maybe out of the person specification, look for the three essential skills, and also ensure that those three essential skills and their value is imputed into anything you are saying in an interview. So that's it.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Sarah. In addition, for this interview, somebody is asking if the recorded session. Yeah, it will be
It's
made. It
live,
will
so you
be.
can always watch it on Beatrice's channel.
Yeah, you can always be have a rewatch of this. And if you are getting much value from this, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And if you've not subscribed to our channel, I mean my channel and Stella's channel, if you've not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Please subscribe. And in addition, another thing you can use to sell yourself is I always recommend the STAR approach,
Yeah,
the STAR approach.
yeah,
S is for situation,
good.
T is task, what's A again? A is achievements and results. So it's like S is they don't even need some of them will tell you like I had two interviews before coming to the UK. Basically the first one did not ask me for star. The second one told me you have to see everything using star approach. Yeah. So even when they did not ask you, that's a safe way to make sure that you are on point. For
Good.
instance, if you are a data analyst or let's say you are into tech and when you are into tech, you should be thinking about saying, giving examples of how you were creative, how you were innovative, how you thought outside the box, how you made something. So you can just give them an instance of situation. There was a time when um the software was no longer working. Perhaps you were a software developer. the software was no longer working, the codes were non-functional, and many of the customers in your company, they were complaining. Then you actually took 2 days to think about it. You were really working, trying different things, and then you brought out a new innovation that the company has never thought of. So that's like, this was the situation. That was like the challenge. And the customers were complaining. Now we're talking about the tax. The tax was, we need to develop a better software. We need to upgrade the software.
Yeah.
Now you are going to tell them how you thought about it, how even outside your working hours, you were still working at home. Despite they are not even paying you for those hours, but you were so passionate. No employer wants to leave somebody that is passionate out.
No, nobody
Because
wants.
there's
Everybody
what
wants them.
passion can do.
That's
So you
so.
tell them how you were so passionate to make sure it gets improved, regardless, and you were able to develop, and they tried it, it worked. And with that, so the achievement, don't always forget to mention your achievement and quantify it. So with that, your company's GDP increased, for instance, from this value to this value, or after that your bank had 10,000 more customers, or this. So you need to really quantify. It must not be up to 10,000, but something like that. So I lastly will be ending by just talking about where you could apply, like Track Job, Indeed, CV Library, some of these sites where you can apply for UK jobs. I'll
Yes.
leave
So
time.
I was waiting for that part because
Yeah.
it's very important. It's very very important because I don't know. Am I echoing?
No, no, you're not.
Okay, okay, maybe it's from my end then, so that's fine. That part is very important. So before you're even talking about going to apply through websites, yeah, there I want to recommend a website. It's called Tier. I opened it on my second phone. Let me open
Yeah,
it so that you guys
yeah.
will. It's called uktiersponsored.co.uk. You guys should try uktiersponsored. Why I recommend that website? I even did a video on it showing how to navigate through it. Why I did that is because in that website it has a list of all sponsored employers. Number one. Number two, it has a list of their company in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
Number three, it's you can just go to the filter and just filter your departments.
You can type it, oh, I'm trying to even check it
Yeah,
now.
when you click to the all industries, I don't think you guys will be able to see it. You will see different ones there: care home, agriculture, manufacturer, civil engineering, art architecture, social work, teaching, and all that. Okay, so you can click on the, if let's say even if your profession is not written there, your profession can be maybe under social work, like those that want to come in within charity visa.
Mhm.
It will be under social work. Do you get something that is related to your profession? And then you click on it and you see the different companies that are sponsoring and are licensed in the UK to
Yeah.
sponsor, and you see the company name. All you need to do is to copy that company and go and check if they're having a vacancy. If they're not having a vacancy, you can also contact their HR because it will be on their website. Call them and find out if they are having any vacancy. That's one of the best way I can tell you to. It's very direct. It's not corners. Do
Mm.
that, and you will be so surprised on how you get it. Because people will apply, and they find out that people will say they don't sponsor. You understand?
Mm.
I'll dedicate my 6 months. So, so you
Yeah,
can
it's
do
worth
that.
it. It's worth it,
Yeah.
really.
So that's number one. Number two is, we all know, I know some people will be like, Indeed does not work, Read does not work. It works. That's what I want to tell you. It seriously works. It works. It might not be because the competition is high there, so it might be very, very this, but it works. It did works and this work. Another one that works again is Trick. If you want to apply for NHS jobs, you need to apply through the, it's either you go to NHS jobs website or you go to Trick Jobs, TRAC, to get that Trick Jobs. Then another place you can get job, if you are someone that's looking for care work or even nurses, you can check care homes website. But remember, all these jobs you must check if their office sponsorship. Yeah, and that's why I recommended the first way. The another way you can check is through Google. Just type nursing job with visa sponsorship. You will see them there. Just type it on Google. You will see different ones that list down there. Another way you can get is train through LinkedIn. LinkedIn is another
Yeah.
website that you can get. One of the best ways to get again is through your friends. Your
Yeah.
friends that are out there, please ask them. Please
Which
give me
company brought
which
you?
which one recruited you. Don't be
Yeah.
saying, "Ha, he left me. I went to the UK. He did not tell me. He was thinking I was a notch, a witch. I will not talk to him again." We don't have time for that one. My brother and sister, we are all adults. Grow up. There's no time for that again. Everybody just look for the things how it will favor you. That's what you should be thinking. I'm sorry, but yes, you have to think like that. How it will favor you. Don't be thinking like oh they left, they did not tell me. Oh, he's going to the UK. Oh, thank God, I'm so happy for him. Ah, at least he has gone before me, he will show me the way or how he has done it. Then you're not contacting them to ask for
My
money.
God. My God.
You're contacting them to say, okay, please, what's the name of your company? What's their HR email? That's all you need from them. Simple. Then you go ahead. Maybe if the person does not want to talk too much to you, but if the person is someone that is free, they can give you more details. Another one is Telegram. You see Telegram groups. The power of that Telegram. God will bless that Telegram people.
Check your
It
mail.
cannot be overemphasized. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We can
Okay,
still hear you.
I just want to be sure I'm not talking like
No,
okay.
we can still hear
Sorry,
you.
I hope I was not shouting. My
No,
voice is
no, no, no. Yeah.
okay. So it's Telegram groups. Telegram very very important. The use of Telegram groups, Facebook groups as well because many of them upload um different um different vacancy that is ongoing. So we also, I don't know if Victory has a Telegram group you can share, but we also have a
Yeah.
Telegram group. You can join that. Then another way you can do it is watching YouTube videos. Like Victory have been singing subscribe, subscribe since. Some people will not hear, but they don't know that it's important. It's very important. You don't know where this information is coming from.
And it's free. Oh.
And it's
Subscription is free.
subscription is free. Some people will think that when they're saying subscribe, some people
They'll
will
be
think
taking.
subscribe comes with money. No, it's free.
No, it's
Because
free.
Bishop can drop an information today and boom, it's up already. You will see it there. And you say, oh, how is it? And you watch it. The other day, I put a video on working in Finland. And many people went through the process. Like people started the process. Victory too has done loads of videos. I don't talk about myself. Victory too has
Mm.
done loads of videos too in regards to how to move to the UK, moving with different professions. So subscribing to YouTube channels, searching using your phone and searching all the source will give you very much information on this different company. There's another one I think I wrote down for tech when I was researching for some stuff. They said
Tech
it's
people, let's listen. Oh.
they said
I know
it's
somebody online.
sorry, if you're a teacher, okay, if you're a teacher, there's Get Into Teaching England. That's another website for you, for if you're a teacher. So you need to use that. That's where you see lots of teaching job. For tech, there's something that is called Job Serve. We have Job Serve. We have UK Hired. Then there's also one. This one is also for teachers too. It's called ces.com. That's another one. Then there's one that is UK government website. In fact, this one is for you need to when you go there, it's called DWPUK. It's like when you just type it's kind of a UK government website whereby they have a section dedicated for international relocation. So DWPUK, that's another one. So you can check it out. You can check read as well too. And then what's the last one? I can't find it here. So anyway, those are the basic ones that
Marcella, please do us a favor. If you can forward me all these links so that I can attach it to the description because some persons may not even be online now, but they want to rewatch. So that they can easily just click the link and yeah, I think that if you please, if at your convenience, it's not immediately. But if you can just send it so I can attach it to the description. Yeah.
okay, no problem. So these are basic websites in which yeah you can be able to do this to get to apply for jobs. And don't forget, it's not about the website; it's about your consistency. You need to be
Yeah.
consistent too. Yeah.
I know one question that most people want to ask as we are closing it. Which website did you get your own job? I will talk about mine.
It's the same website we got our job. Don't worry. So go on.
Really? I got my true code mail, really. The
Oh,
job
code. Oh yeah, that's code mail too. Very important. So go on.
I
Yeah.
tried. I didn't get my job through track job. I tried.
Okay.
I got one interview, but the one that I came to the UK, I got their mail like from the application website. Like when they place advert on track, after, for instance, if they say it's expiring on 5th of November, on 6th, you will definitely, when after it closes, you will now see contact email and phone number of that company. You won't be able to apply, but you see their number. So that's what I just copy their email and send them, attaching my CV, cover letter, telling them this is so luckily one now had to, many of those things I tried. Some of them will tell me I'm on annual leave.
Ah,
Yeah. But this one luckily sent me another application, but I said, okay, if you are interested, fill this form. And I filled the following week interview. I was shocked.
you see, don't give up. Yeah.
After it. So I think we've come to the end of this session. Or do you have any other things to add?
No, I need to run away now.
I should tell you thank you. This is thank you so much for your time.
No problem.
If
You
you are
are
watching this video and you've gotten so much value, I need you to give lots of thumbs up. And then use the comment section. I appreciate Mrs. Stella for giving us this time. You know what time is like in UK? Time is money.
Exactly like African time. Oh, time is
Yeah,
money.
for giving us this is over an hour now. And please, to say a bigger thank you to her. Yeah, I'm going to pin her YouTube channel. Go to her YouTube channel, subscribe, and you are going to do yourself the favor if you tap the notification button, because there are many videos there. And just scroll through the channel. There are over 80 videos there that will guide you on how to relocate. And there are many services they offer as well. I'm going to leave the link to their Telegram group as well for IELTS and everything. So these services, in fact, they are ready to help you. Jackba or as the case, they are ready to help you move overseas. Thank you, everyone who has joined in. For GP who is looking for a wife, I have read all your messages. The Lord will send one to you. I don't manufacture wives. Well, thank you so much for joining, Esther, everybody, Nicholas. Thank you so much for joining. And I think if you found this video helpful, please it's live and it's going to be on the channel when you can copy the link and send to your friends. And I can't wait to see you in the UK. Please, when you come to the UK trying all these things, please make sure you share your testimonies. That's we encourage us to keep doing what we are doing. And it's always a delight knowing that you are getting lots of updates that will help you. We are in, or we when we started, we didn't know all these things. There are many persons who are ahead of us, and they kept giving us information about things, and that's the reason why we were able to come this far. I would say we are too far. We are still far away from where we should be, right? But to an extent, we are not where we were, and we thank God for it all. So thank you everybody for joining. Do have a wonderful day. Thank you, Marcella. I
Bye.
love you. I'm blowing the
Thank,
kiss.
thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, so bye everybody.
Bye.
Bye.